What is up, everyone? Get rid of that. How y'all doing? Let me show you what I mean by it turns on at night. So this is pretty much doing the same thing it did a couple of days ago. Because we had a conversation about this, and you have the energy shooting off this way. Let me see if we have the explosion going on here. Usually right about here is where, and as you can see where the earthquake was, you see that? It's even like pointing the direction that it's like going into. Does that make sense? See how it's all the energy, because this one right here is my greatest evidence. I say it all the time. The V, look at it. See how it just doesn't go anywhere? And it's a perfect V. It is spinning. You can tell it's spinning right there at the... So let's take a look at other places. And Texas is showing a lot of energy. Everywhere is pretty much. It never really turned off. Here you have... These are usually where all the good energy, juicy spots are. You have Spokane. Boise's always got energy coming out of it. See how none of it goes anywhere? And you can see it all spinning right here. This follows the fault line of California. Here's California. So you have California right here. Let's zoom in on that. And you see how, look at it. It doesn't even go anywhere. This is like an hour and a half. It's 90 minutes. It's a 90-minute loop right here. So that's an hour and a half of just shaking, really. It's just frequencies. That's all it really is. It's just... And I'm going to show you what I mean by that. I'll give you the perfect example. Because I know this is kind of weird to understand. And I'm going to show you all some examples, and I'm kind of like freestyling this, as I go. So, it's kind of a lot to, I guess, and I don't know where to start. You know what I mean? Maybe one day I should just make a video and just start, how I found all this, how this came to be for me to understand this, because it is a little crazy. And you see how, look at this right here. It's perfectly in some kind of shape. See how? Now, everybody that's been following me with these videos will know what Texas looks like during the day. And this is what I'm talking about at night when it turns on. And these are all your problem areas. You know what I'm saying? These are Odessa. These are usually where you have your earthquakes. This is where Oklahoma. And you can see look at the energy pulse right there. Pew, pew, pew. Pew, pew. Right there. Pew. And then look at the way, see how there's gaps. See, there's gaps. Look at that. And I'm going to show you this monster storm that's been happening too. And look at Texas. It is banging. Look at this. That's all frequencies. Look at it spinning right there. Right? Look at that. That is interesting. And then these are all your areas that they were saying had, look at this. It's like fuzz, like static. Right? And those aren't birds. Those aren't bugs. Those aren't, because that's a lot. And for nightly, it just doesn't make any sense for it to be some kind of birds or bugs, or maybe sometimes, but not all the time. See, there's nothing happening in Florida, at least right now. See, Montgomery's got one spinning right there. You see it? This is magma flow. This is where your earthquakes are happening. And then the gap stayed right here the whole time in the storm right there. Look, there's a gap right there. You see it? Now it's kind of starting to look like a mess, but for the most part, there was a big old gap that just went with this whole storm. You always have your energy pew-pews here. So, and this is a storm, but the magnetism of what outside of this atmosphere is pulling on all that magma. So when it moves, you could probably say it's probably right about this general area. When it is moving, it is pulling all that energy with it, and it's pulling all the magma and all that. This is something that has been in the works for a long time, and I've watched it slowly but gradually get to this point. I mean, at one time, Texas had nothing. This goes all the way across to Yellowstone, and these are all your problem areas. California. Look at how far it comes up here, and then you got, Yellowstone's probably in this general area right here. So all this is, and during the day, it will go away. And I'm gonna show you a perfect example here. I'll show you an example of what I mean by all this too. Now, for the longest time, I knew that something was happening. There's a whole story I need to go into on how I even came about this. But first off, let me show you. It is way down here. I mean, I got a bunch of videos and discoveries that I've made, and just, revelations. And I mean, I've caught like lights in the skies that look like God just like stabbing the sky with the sword. I mean, it's weird stuff. You know what I'm saying? This video with the light was like pulsating in my hand. It was weird, man. Um, but all of it very interesting. I've been documenting these uh, travels I've been on for quite a while, and you really gotta dig into it. To Some of them are goofy, some of them are just whatever, and a lot of it was. I mean, there's like electricity right there where I'm just like shh, right? There's like electricity noises in my room, right? Like, and it's just like making these weird noises, like something's communicating with me. In other words. Um, And I'll show you what I mean by how I found these frequencies. This is just a good example of what I'm trying to show you, because for the longest time, I had a lamp, or the lamp in the kitchen was shaking, but my house was not. There was like nothing shaking besides the lamp. That was it. Oh God, I pushed the wrong button. All right, so let's see. It's got to be somewhere around here. There it is. Gyration. Listen to it. Let's look at the seismograph. So So for the longest time, that lamp was shaking, but my house was not. There was nothing in my house. And for the longest time, I was like, what is that noise? You know what I mean? I'm like, and I found it, and it was the lamp. I've got a couple of videos of it, and it's just. So my lamp is like shaking, but again, nothing in my house, nothing like not the windows, like nothing. This was like some kind of vortex energy, some kind of frequency that was playing that only shook the lamp. Does that make sense? There's like a frequency that was playing. There's different frequencies everywhere. And it's basically, that's what I'm saying. A lot of people can't feel it. A lot of people can't hear it. Nothing is happening. Just the lamp. Just the lamp. That is it. No, nothing else. Nothing. So you can find this a little bit odd as to why this is happening. You get what I'm saying? Like there's, it's just weird. And like I said, I got to go into the story on how I found all this stuff. So, and I will pretty soon.